Hi folks, welcome back to another video. What we're going to be doing in this video is a little bit more on-shape modeling, and it's going to be kind of a continuation from the last video, okay? So I'll just briefly kind of recap what we did in the last video. We modeled this object here, and it was based off, if I just go to your Google Classroom there, and I clicked on this guy, it was from your World of Graphics textbook, and we looked at this model here, and we took the measurements from it, okay, and we redrew kind of this kind of orangish area here, I suppose, this orangish reddish area. And after we did that, we extruded it, okay. We're going to be doing the same thing in this video, but we're going to extrude something. So we're going to do one or two little models. I'm going to show you how you can model in more spaces, and we're going to learn one or two other skills as well, okay. So in your Google Classroom, you should have a link here saying OnShape JPEG, and I've kind of numbered the questions based on their, I suppose, difficulty. So number one is probably the easiest, then two, then three, then four. Now I'm going to start off with number one as a nice easy one. Okay, then I'll do two, three, and four. And I'm going to do them nice and quick, okay? But you're going to learn some new skills in each one. All right, so starting off at number one, if you look at this model here, I'm just going to bring it in a little bit closer, we can see it. So we're going to have an elevation in the direction of arrow A, plan from B, end elevation from C. So I'm going to draw on the front plane for view A, and I'm going to draw this kind of L-like structure with a length of 75, height 50, and so forth, okay? So if I go back into my OnShape, now in here the last day, just going to move this guy a second, if I can actually, should be able to. There we go. Just move that guy there. Now, the last day, guys, inside in here, we were modeling this, but down here at the bottom, okay, I'll just hide this at the moment, but down here at the very, very bottom, what we've actually got is an assembly part, okay, so you see here, we've our part studio 1, and then we've got the assembly down here. Now, in the assembly, there's nothing there at the moment. We haven't assembled any models together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that. So if I right click, it opens up this secondary window, and I want to delete that. I usually just delete it until I want to actually do an assembly. But instead of actually going out here, just to show you there, I called it our Ortho Models at the top. You can rename it up the top if you want, okay? So the last day you probably have it in here as Steps Practice. So you could open that by clicking on it, and you could click up here and you can rename it, okay? So that's something new there. So you can rename it up here, Ortho Models, if you want, okay? Now, once you've it renamed there, what I would get you to do is we're going to model a second one now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the plus icon here. And then after I click on that, what I'm going to click on is Create Part Studio. And what it's going to do is, you can see here now, instead of assembly, it says Part Studio 2. And what it's basically allowing me to do is, I'm going to start another model. So I'm going to start that there now. So like I did the last day, I'm going to turn off the planes that I don't want, which is the top and the right in this case. And I want to select the front plane to sketch on. So I left click on the plane and I click the icon sketch. Okay. It's going to bring in another box there around it. And you can see in here in my sketch window, I've got the front plane selected. I'm going to bring it to the front here. So I'm looking straight at it, and I'm going to redraw it with my line. So I select my line tool. You can see it's highlighted blue there. Hover over the origin. When there's a little box over the origin, I'm directly above it. Click once, let go, drag your line anywhere. I'm going to pull it out here. Click, click. You can see the line stays active the whole way along. And I want to keep going until it maps above the origin and then bring it home. And there's our rough shape there. But what we want to do is we want to apply the dimensions. So I'm going to go up to my dimension tool, select that, come down here, select the line I want to dimension. So this line here, I'm going to click on it, then drag down into the space and click once again so that I can input a measurement. And I want this to be 75. Now I want this line here, click on the line, drag out, this one to be 50. And then I want this line, I'm going to make this one 25. And then I'm also going to make this line a height of 25. You'll see here, our drawing has now gone from blue to black. It's fully defined. Now what I want to do is I want to make that a 3D model. So what I'm going to do is I usually come up here to my viewing cube, okay, or my orientation cube, click on the corner. So I'm looking at the sketch in 3D now. I'm going to click on this guy here, extrude. And straight away, you can see here it's starting to extrude. I can grab the arrow, hold on it, and click and drag it out. And you'll notice as I do that, watch how this dimension changes. It's saying 48.3 at the moment. If I click and hold the arrow and look and pull it out, you can see the dimension is changing. But I want it to be exactly 25. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll click on that 25, press enter. It's exactly 25. And then to accept that, I'm going to click on the green arrow. And there we go. And what I'll do now is on my front plane, I'll actually just hide that as well. It's still there, but I'll just have it hidden. And there's our model done. Nice and easy. Now, a new trick I'm going to show you here right now is this one. So I'm just select that corner there. So let's say I wanted to add a color to this face. The way I like to do it, there's a couple of ways you can do it, but the way I'm going to show you in this video is I'm going to select the face, just click on it. And now with my with my right click button on the mouse, okay, with the right click, I'm going to right click onto that orange face there. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up this box. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to say add appearance to face. So click on that. And it's going to open up this kind of little colors window here, a little palette window. I'm going to select red and you'll see how that face has changed to red. I'm going to select the green arrow to accept it. Now I'm going to select this face and this face. So I've selected two faces. Right click on one of them and I'm going to add appearance to two faces. This time I'm going to go with a green. And then finally, I'm going to select this face and this face, right click on it, add appearance to two faces. And this time I go with something like a yellow, something like that. And there you have it. There's kind of how we add colors nice and simply, okay? And there it is. Look, if I click on the front face, front view, that's what I'm going to see. If I select the left view, I'm going to see two greens. And then if I select the top view, I'm going to see two kind of yellows. Okay, so that's that model done there. Now what I would advise you to do is using your Google Classroom. Okay, I'll zoom out there. Your next one to have a go at, and I'll actually leave it for this video now. This would be like a little tester for you. Okay, you're going to start on number 2. Okay, it's very much like the one we just did there, only the object changes. So you're going to draw on the front plane again for view A, and you might start either here or over here, and you can draw over to the left, up, across, down, and so on. Bring it home, put in your correct measurements, and then what you would do is you would extrude it, okay? Kind of like what we did here. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to model number 4, okay? It's probably the hardest one, and I'll let you have a go. Like I did with number 1, you'd have a go at number 2 on your own. I'll model number 4, and you'd have a go at number 3 on your own. And there's another little thing we're going to learn here, and it's about actually taking away or cutting away a part of something, okay? So we're going to start modeling this guy. Now, first of all, looking at it, we have an elevation in the direction of arrow A. So I see this face here, and I'd see these two faces. I have an end elevation in the direction of arrow C and a plan from B. Now, in this case, I actually think looking in the direction of view C makes the most sense. So that's going to actually be on the right plane. So I'm going to draw this kind of L-like structure on the right plane, and you'll see what happens, and then we're going to cut away this section by looking at the front plane. Okay, so I'm going to start actually on the right plane this time, so it's something a little bit different, just using a different plane. So I'm going to go back in here to my model, I'm going to go down here to the plus, click on this, click Create Part Studio, and what I'm going to do now is, you can see here part 1 is this guy, part 2 is this guy, and here's part 3. We have to start modeling this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to knock off my top plane, and I'm going to knock off the front plane. We're left with the right plane. That's the one I want to sketch on. So I'll select the right plane and select sketch. And what I'm going to do is come over to my viewing cube and click right. Now once again, I'm going to grab a line, hover over the origin, click, let go, drag it out into position. I want to be up to here somewhere. Out to there, down to here, bring it home. And there we go. And what I want to do now is I want to apply a dimension. So once again, this line here is 75. This line is also 75. This line is 50. So I'll just pull it out like that. Or if you wanted, you could do the bottom line 25. But I think this one's 50. And then this line is 25. Doesn't matter if you pull it inside or outside. And there we have our model kind of done. So you can see it there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude it, and it actually comes out, not 25 this time, 75. I will accept it. I'll turn off my right plane now. So I'll just go back to the model there. You can see here, because the width of it, okay, in the direction of arrow C now, you have to remember looking in the direction of arrow C, having drawn this, the width in this case, or what we would actually call the length of it, would be 75, 25, 25, 25, or with 75 here. Now what I want to do now is cut out this little block in here. We can see that block is going to be 25 long, and it is going to be 50 high. So if you look at the 50 there, so it's going to be 50 high and 25 long there. So I need to draw that. So how I would attack that is, I want to select a surface to sketch on. Now, when we started our models, we always selected one of these surfaces. But now that I actually have a model, I've got loads of other surfaces. I've got that surface, I've got this surface, I've got this surface, and so on. But the surface I specifically want to draw on is this one. So I'm going to select this surface, and I'm going to select sketch. Now, that means I'm actually ready to draw on this surface. You'll see a little kind of, just pull it into the center there a little bit. You can see a little sketch 2 boxes after coming in, and notice how sketch 2 was over here. Okay, so all that means is we're ready to draw on that surface. You can see the sketch is in line with that surface there. Okay, now I'm going to show you that you can actually sketch in 3D as well. So we're actually in 3D at the moment. If I want to look directly at it, I could click on that, okay, and I could draw it in there. But just to show you, you can do it in 3D as well. Now this time, I'm going to select the corner rectangle. So make sure you're not on center rectangle, you're on corner rectangle. Okay, so we're not using line anymore, we're just going to draw a rectangle. And what I'm going to do is, when I have that highlighted, I'm going to come up to the top, make sure that I'm mapped onto the top kind of edge here. Select it, drag down, you can see a rectangle is coming in. And what I want to do is I want to map onto this line. Make sure you don't go below it, and you map onto it, just put it roughly in the middle there, and select. And there's our rectangle, okay? Another way, as I said, you could have done that was you could have been in the front and drawn it here, select, come down here and select again. And that would also work. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dimension. So using our dimension tool, select that. I want to apply a dimension between this line and this line. So different now from what we've previously done. So I'm going to select the line, and you can see it's telling me it's 50, but I want to come over here and select this line. And what it does is when I select 2 lines, it allows me to dimension the space between them, and then select. And there we go. Do it once more. Select the line. Once again, it's telling me it's 50 high. Select this line, and it allows me to dimension the space between them. And then once again, left click last time, 25, enter. Now what it's doing is, because I didn't have to dimension the top, because once again, I've told it's 25, 25, it knows then it's 25 left. And this line here, it automatically recognizes it's 50. So that's fully dimensioned. Now we're going to use that to cut away this section. So I'm going to go over to my extrude again. Now extrude, you might think, oh, that's why is he using extrude? But I'll just show you there now. So extrude, you can see here, it's adding on something right now. Okay, so it's after coming out. I do not want to add on. I want to do something else. I want to cut it away. Or if you look at another word here, instead of cut, I have remove. So if I change that to remove there, you can see instead of it coming out, it's after flipping and going in. What I usually do now is I just kind of grab the arrow and pull it out, make sure it's going beyond the end. Okay? Because look, if I only pull it into there, you can see it's only taken so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it all the way back there. When it's further or when it's far enough back, I'm happy with that. You don't have to worry about this dimension too much in that case. I will accept. And there we have the model done. Okay. What you would usually do now, once again, is you'd select the surface, right click on it, add appearance. I'm going to go with a red again. And look, while I'm in here, because when I'm looking in that direction, technically this is in the same kind of direction of it. So I could select this face as well, and you can see it also changes to red and it populated in here. So there's that one. I'll do this face, and this face. Right click, edit, add appearance to 3 faces. I'm going to go with that color. And then I'll select this face, and this face. Right click, add appearance to 3 faces. And this time I will go with, I'll just go with a purple. And there we go. There's the model done. Make sure it's in nice and 3D so we can see it there fully. You can rotate around, see obviously what you'd look at in the different views. So there's the top view. That's what I'm going to see. There's the front view. And then finally, there's the right view. Okay. So that's those ones done. And what I would actually advise you to do then is if you get those modeled, okay, number one first, number two on your own. Having done number four, you'd obviously have a go at number three on your own, and you build it the same way, and then you'd cut out this little block section there off it. Okay, so you'd make the L again on the right plane, and then cut out this little block section. Okay, so hope you get on okay with that, guys. That is the video done.